Hi guys, it's Shannon. I have a Deadpan video for you today, and it happens to be on foundation, and I wanted to talk a little bit about my particular foundation preferences. So, the item that I deadpanned is my Personal Match Cream to Powder Foundation in Nude with SPF of 10. The story behind this is that I was originally using Perfect Wear All Day Comfort Foundation in SPF 10 in Classic Ivory, and this color is really good for me in the wintertime, you know, like January, February, when I'm really pale. But it was a little bit too pale for me. It was getting to be closer to summer, and I was getting some natural color back, and so I wanted to darken up my color, and I decided to try a cream to powder foundation. And the way you do this is that there's a little button right here in the front. You're probably not going to be able to see it. Let me turn it to the side. You see where it sticks out there a little bit? And so you press that little button, and it opens up, and inside there's a sponge already in there. And then what you do is you flip down the lid, and gosh, this is hard to show you. There's two sections here, so the sponge is on the bottom, and then the foundation is on the top. So the sponge would be under here, and the foundation would be here. And there's a nice big mirror at the top. And so I started using this, and I loved it. I like it more than liquid foundation because it is so easy to put on. I prefer to put liquid foundation. If you watch me do my foundation routine, even when I'm using liquid foundation, I tend to use a round sponge similar to this anyway. I just like the way that it goes on. I think it goes on a little smoother than using a foundation brush or even a stippling brush. For me, I feel like when I use those, it just always ends up looking a little streaky to me, or I feel like I need to go over it again with my fingers. I actually prefer, if I'm going to choose between a brush and using my fingers, I prefer to use my fingers. But everybody has their own opinions on that. So anyway, I already like using a sponge better. Well, this you put on like a sponge, and you just rub the sponge in it and rub it all over your face. And what I love about this is that it goes on so nicely. I would use this sometimes even as a concealer, although I can tell you that it's probably not approved, I approved. And basically what happened one time was I ran out of concealer, so I just used this. And this is really good. If you saw my routine, I have, you know, a few dark spots, sun damage on the side, and I could just, you know, tap my finger in this and just lightly go over those, and it covered them completely, which is better even than concealer does for me. So sometimes I would either put a concealer over the spots and then cover them again with this to blend the concealer color in a little better. Sometimes I would just skip the concealer altogether. And then when I ran out of concealer, you know, I would still use this under my eyes and over my lids. But I can tell you, if it gets in your eyes, it did sting a little bit. I'm sure it's not eye approved. But only for a second. So I used it anyway. But the thing I really love about this is that if you're using a liquid foundation, unless you carry a super large bag and you carry a pretty heavy-duty makeup bag in your purse, chances are you're not taking your liquid foundation with you during the day. And if something happens, you really don't have the opportunity to touch up your liquid foundation. Well, this, because it's a creamy consistency and it goes on, it gives you can layer it up as much coverage as you want. So if you just want minimal coverage, you want freckles and things to show through, you can do that. If you want it to be a little bit heavier, it can go to a full coverage. And so you have the options of that. But then it dries so nice and smooth on your face, just like if you didn't use foundation and you just maybe dusted on a little bit of a pressed powder. And so the great thing about it is, this I can easily take with me in my purse, and I can touch up my foundation during the day. So not only can I touch up my foundation, but I can use it just like a powder. So if I feel like I need to really touch up my foundation, or if I'm maybe going out and I really want to kind of redo my face a little bit and darken up the eyes, you know, I can redo the face. This is really easy to carry. I don't have to worry about it spilling, and I don't have to carry brushes, and I don't have to worry about any of that. It just drops in my purse. So I can touch up my full face with this style of a foundation. The other thing is that if I don't want to do my full face, but what if I just feel like I'm getting a little shiny and in a T-zone or a little bit oily, then I use this just like I would use a powder, pressed powder or loose, and just, you know, touch up those areas. And also I feel like when I use this, I didn't need to use a loose powder or even own a pressed powder, because it works just like a pressed powder, and I didn't need a loose powder to set it. It sets itself. So if you've never tried, whether you use this brand or another brand, this was the first brand that I use this way, so I can't really speak for others yet, but I will repurchase cream to powder foundations in the future over liquid. I'm going to go back to this now just because I have it and I need to use it up since this is gone, so you'll be seeing me use this, but I don't have a whole lot of this left, and I'm sure I have some other styles on hand at home too that I'll need to use up as well. But this, for right now, and in the future, is my product of choice when it comes to foundation, because it just has so many uses. And I would bet that you probably can find products on the market now that do that are eye approved, or that you can use even more like you would a concealer. This was fine. It was just sometimes if I would do under my eye, it was fine even for the lid, but sometimes if I would do under my eye, I would just get a little bit too close to the eye, and it would just kind of sting for a second, and then it was fine. So typically stinging is not really a good thing. It's not a good sign, but it didn't stop me from doing it. So anyway, if you have any questions about cream to powder foundations, let me know. I'm not sure that this exact style is available anymore, but I do know that they have new and improved, updated styles. This one is from AVON, but I know that there's other companies that make these as well, so I would give them a shot. I loved it, and it is my favorite type of foundation now. So if you have any questions about that, let me know, and you know, leave some comments. What's your favorite foundation? I would love to see if you want to leave a video response about your foundation routine or your favorite foundations. I would love that. So, you know, leave a video response below. I'd be happy to watch those. I would love that. And please rate 5 stars, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I think when I get probably around 100 subscribers, I'm going to have a contest and send out some prizes to folks. So please subscribe if you're watching this and you haven't already. And if you have any questions, or if you would like to see any other reviews or any product comparisons, I would be happy to do that. I'm really excited about these, so I'd be happy to try some other types and brands and styles. So if you want to see more of that, let me know. And I hope you guys are having a great day and an even better week. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.